conservative podcast that exposes the truth. Dale, your host, is happy to have you listening to the show. He will have a new episode twice a month on Saturdays. There may be bonus shows if the news warrants for it. Thank you for listening to him talk about what he believes to particularly important issues facing America today. He will spend most of his time talking about topics that have at first blush have nothing to do with today's news. However, he hopes you agree where the topics are important to each day. You can voice your disagreements or agreements on his comment section at the show's website, https://coffee-time-again.com, or email him at host@coffee-time-again.com. He does not do Twitter, so do not bother looking for him. Please keep your comments clean. He will have to remove all vulgar, name-calling, racist, hate comments, etc. You can disagree with him without being disagreeable. He has his cup, get yours. Here we go on today's journey.
Hello, this is Coffee Time Again, Exposing the Truth. I am Dale, and I welcome you to the show. This is the second in a 5-part series on the Bill of Rights, also known as the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. I do have an announcement. I will be starting a video of the show soon. Watch for the official opening day for the video. For subscribers to the show at the $25 level, you can subscribe at patreon.com/coffee_time_again !fan_landing=true. And yes, it works. I've tried it. Now get your cup. I have mine. Sit back and enjoy the show. Second part I want to discuss is the loss of our freedom of speech. All over the country, we're not allowed to speak. Yes, there are places where free speech is not only dumb but dangerous, i.e. yelling fire in a theater. However, I'm not talking about that type of stuff. If you are conservative and attempt to speak about anything anywhere on a college or university campus, you're in for a major headache, sometimes literally. You will be shouted down, things thrown at you, even beaten up. If a conservative group books a speaker to talk about it, our side it will be so packed with liberals that the speaker will be forced off the stage. Some colleges and universities will not even allow conservatives to book events due to the strong possibility of violence in the streets. The police are powerless to stop it as they're outnumbered and outgunned. They attempt to control the leftist activists without much progress. How do you stop a mob? If you use deadly force against deadly force, they are to blame, and the left will cause all kinds of heck against them, from wrongful death suits to riots about being racist to being criminally charged. The left wants to defund the police who become targets themselves. This turns into a vicious cycle for the wonderful brave people in blue. In another show, I talk about how one person can cause so many problems for the country, from removing items from the school lunch menu to Bibles in schools, etc. I will not go there in detail. However, I will say it is time for the right to get off its butt and fight back with the same commitment as the left does, without the violence. We got the backbone of the country, the workers, the so-called rednecks. I'm proud to have worked hard for my country and have served in its military. I'm proud of my country, even though I can see where there is room for improvement. Despite going back to our roots as a democratic republic and forcing those we elect to govern us according to the law and the Constitution, I'm a strong supporter of an Article 5 convention. Go to www.conventionofstates.com to learn about and get involved with them, and I strongly encourage you to. But that is all I will say about this. However, there will be more for sure. What is it about the liberals they want to ruin the country? Can't they see what is happening with what they're already doing to us? Watching the impeachment witch hunt was a travesty of justice. Pelosi is a hypocrite. Rushes to get the articles of impeachment through the House of Representatives and hold them up, will not let the Senate do it part, which is to hold this trial. They hold secret meetings, will not let the right question the witnesses or call witnesses. They will not name the so-called whistleblower and will not even let him or her testify. All this is abridging the right of freedom. Even worse, it is stopping the freedom of speech. This might be a stretch for some people. In fact, it's a lot of people. However, freedom of speech can be connected to the Second Amendment. I believe the country that carries guns is a much politer society. If I believe the person I'm interacting with has a gun, I will be polite for sure. If he believes I have a gun, he will be polite as well, making honest communication more likely, be it the left or the right. Jeffrey R. Stone and Eugene Volokh, can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry, sir, write in A Common Interpretation of Free Speech and Press, that the Supreme Court has interpreted speech and press broadly is in covering not only talking, writing, printing, but also broadcasting, using the internet and other forms of expression. The freedom of speech also applies to symbolic expression, such as flying flags, burning flags, roaring up beds, burning crosses, and the like. So what does all this mean in 2020? To me, not a whole lot. It has been case law for decades. What will happen to us if the way things are going now continue? I'm so against the tactics used by BLM, Antifa, and Proud Boys. Violence is wrong no matter what side you're on. Let me repeat that. Violence is wrong no matter what side you're on. News outlets on the left would not know the truth if it bit them on the nose. I will not bother to name them, they are well known, but I include Fox here as well. I was a loyal fan of Fox, however lately it has gotten so bad on the right as the ones on the left. It is getting extremely hard to verify any news stories about the left or the right, as news stories are so slanted. I need 3-4 sources with the same report before I report it on the air. But in the day, you could check overseas reports and get a somewhat clear idea. Not anymore. Once upon a time, there were news sources such as Reuters that were honest. I'm not so sure they can be trusted. The editors of the largest newspapers self-identify as liberal. The opinion pages are so bad, full of half-truths and outright lies. NPR and PBS, publicly funded, by the way, are on just as left as then CNN, MSNBS, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox are so far the tank for the president. There is no free speech on TV, radio, the newspapers, or magazines. Of course, there's social media. I don't even want to go here. Everyone is voicing their opinion or sharing somebody else's opinion with whom they agree. I'm guilty of this one myself. In my defense, I try to verify what I'm reposting or adding my 2 cents worth of words to. I have no issue with anyone going on social media to use their First Amendment rights. I do have a problem with lies and fake news, reposting it as facts. Social media can be a powerful source of news, reaching far more than all the other medias combined. However, you need to be responsible for what you post and be willing to accept the blowback you will get no matter what side you're on. I am a Christian and try to walk the walk and talk the talk, which means no vulgar language, name-calling, hate talk, etc. It's hard, for sure. However, I'm somewhat successful at it. You could at least make an effort you can disagree without being disagreeable. Now I want to talk about what is not protected by the First Amendment according to Wikipedia. Categories of speech that are given lesser or no protection by the First Amendment and therefore may be restricted include obscenity, fraud, child pornography, speech integral to illegal conduct, speech that incites imminent lawless action, speech that violates intellectual property, true threats, and commercial speech such as advertising. Oddly enough, burning or otherwise damaging the American flag is not protected. Desecrating the flag should not be allowed. I do not believe it is a form of speech. There are other acts that are called speech, which I do not believe should be. The next thing I want to talk about is freedom of the press. Do we have freedom of the press today? What a question. Of course most would say. Just look at what they're saying. I contend we do not have freedom of speech. It is controlled by just a few people at the top of the media outlets, whether or not, if it is newspapers, radio, broadcast, or cable TV, and the left controls those at the top, so about 9% of the reported news is slanted towards the socialist agenda. This is reported by the media outlets themselves as being on the left. In other words, CNN say we're on the left, and so does the other ones. The other 10% is on the right, and they slant it the other way. Neither is fair to the public. Today, the news is so out of control. The leftists hate the president so much that it is all of the negative that is reported, or just made up from rumors, lies, and leaks. They could not report anything he does that is positive. Nothing he does has any value. He ruined the economy. Unemployment is high. Crime is rising. The border is just concentration camps of children ripped from their parents' arms. That's the Obama. But anyway, President Trump is against everyone except himself, so how did he lose $2 billion of his personal fortune? He cannot even say Merry Christmas without complaints. The right has nothing but good news about the president. He can do no wrong. Even his tax cut was hailed as the largest in history, when in fact only the wealthy and big businesses benefited from it. The news needs to be reported just as the facts. Let the listener decide what is their slant, if it is newsworthy to them, what it means to them. That would be a free press, one that presented the facts both good and bad just as it will happen, not slanted towards one side or the other. The job of the press is to hold the government accountable to the people, A free press is supposed to tell us the truth so we can decide, we the people can decide if a politician is doing their job or not. The last thing I wish to discuss with you today is the right of the people to peacefully assemble. This full section reads, the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Do we really have this right? Just look at any large city and see if we have this right. It has been taken away from us. Again, most would say yes. However, if any group on the right tries to assemble in the streets, here comes the socialists and the other hate groups. They do not just counter-protest, they get violent. Just look at what is happening right now in several cities across the country. The riots, looting, killings, the ambushing of police officers, and it happened right in Aurora just a few days ago near my sister's house. We on the right are not allowed to on most college campuses because the left comes out with the support of the administration and says that the possibility of violence is too high to allow us to speak. If we get the chance to have a public speaker, they'll most likely shut it down and give up leaving the stage, not finishing the speech, or there is a protest outside with the people from the left attacking those on the right. Does anyone know how to petition the government for a redress? Heck, do you even know what a redress means today of grievances? I do not know what to do. I suppose calling your senator or your congressman would be one way. How about one of the departments, say the IRS or the EPA, to pick the two worst actors that need to be redressed, the director or the administrator of the pay agency? The president? I do not know. However, this is Dale, signing off from another show. Thank you for listening. Remember, I will start the video of the shows for subscribers. The next show is on the Second Amendment. You do not want to miss that one. You can subscribe at www.patreon.com, coffee_time_again,?fan_landing=true, and yes, it works. Please leave a comment at https://coffee-time-again.lisbon.com/website or https://coffee-time-again.com. And thank you again for listening. This is Dale. Don't miss the next show on the Second Amendment.
Thank you for listening to his rants and raves. There are show notes and a place to comment at https://coffee-time-again.com. He hopes that you liked what you heard and will tell others about him. Dale is attempting to get a following that both agrees and disagrees with him. He does not want a yes man. If you disagree, wonderful. Dale is happy to have you here as a part of the Coffee Time Again team. He does not want to talk about the news of the day. He is attempting to give a history lesson that is just as important about what is going on as the headlines of the day. Please do not hesitate to contact him. Just remember that Dale wants a clean show, meaning no cussing, name-calling, yelling, or hate allowed. You can disagree with Dale and not be disagreeable about it. If you have an idea for a show, just send him an email at host@coffee-time-again.com or on the comments at the show's website at https://coffee-time-again.com.